and HDFC Life. But let's go across. Exclusive conversation with Habil Khorakiwala, founder, chairman at Wockhardt Group, joining us this morning. Good morning, Mr. Khorakiwala. This is Harsh here. The USFDA has accepted Wockhardt's new drug application for breakthrough antibiotic Zaynich. What comes next in terms of the rollout? How much time will the final approval take, and how will you be able to launch the drug before mid-2026?
I think it is a very important step in terms of our entire anti-infective drug discovery program. The acceptance of Zaynich filed by USFDA signifies that the file was, in terms of its content and the basic requirement, was meeting their requirement. I think it's a very important step for Wockhardt and for India, because it is the first time ever an Indian IND has been accepted by FDA. As far as we are concerned, we expect that it will take about 6 to 8 months, not minimum 6 months to 8 months for US FDA to clear the product. And we would expect approval sometime in middle of next year. And thereafter, we would be introducing this Zaynich in USA sometime later part of the year or early next year.
Right, Mr. Khorakiwala, but how much potential revenue do you incur once Zaynich is launched? And the global market revenue potential for Zaynich, how much do you guess that to be?
As far as India is concerned, we have made application 6 months earlier, and we have not heard anything from them. So somehow we expect that Indian approval will come around the same time FDA approval comes. And we should roll out earlier in India once we get the approval. It's normally antibiotic, since it requires hospital registration approval in every unit, because of the fact that new drug to be used carefully, it generally has a slow start. But once the initial phase is over, the drug will move like a hockey stick. And there will be a very rapid growth coming after 12 months or so of launch.
Right, Mr. Khorakiwala. Let's shift to McNaF. It's the other drug which is approved by US FDA but currently has restricted use. How soon do you expect to receive approval for wider usage on this one?
That is the McNaF, which is already approved, but it has drug controller has provided a very restricted use of this drug. Even though clinical trial was conducted for community-acquired pneumonia, which was approved by US FDA, European Authority, and Indian Drug Controller as far as the phase 3 trial is concerned. But however, they have restricted the use for only hospital. And we are working with the government to normalize the use of this product. In fact, there was a recent article in Lancet, which is the first article in Lancet of an Indian research, which clearly showed that nafithromycin is a very, very useful drug, a major advance, and it will in fact reduce the incidence of resistant mechanism in the community.
Right. But Mr. Khorakiwala, beyond Zaynich and McNaF, what's the next big molecule in the pipeline that could move the revenue needle post FY27 for Wockhardt?
We have Amrock, which is already in the market, and I think it is gaining traction now. And there is one more drug which we have completed phase 3 clinical trial for 282, which we expect to file it sometime in the early part of next year to drug control in India, and it should be in the market in 27 onwards, in Indian market.
And any revenue guidance that you can share for FY27 now that Zaynich acceptance is in place and McNaF is also in the pipeline?
I think we should at least expect 20%, 18-20% growth next year, considering our internal existing portfolio growth, plus some of the extra business coming out of new drug launch, NCE launch.
And how is Wockhardt balancing investment in novel drugs versus core generics business, especially in the UK and Ireland?
I think UK and Ireland business is in a normal course. Whatever we introduce about five, six products every year, and that will continue. And there is no exceptional extra investment as far as uh, pharmaceutical generic drug is concerned. However, our focus continues to remain in NC. We will be continuing to invest in a new drug, especially in the drug which is already developed and clinical trial over next several years. We also continue to work on a anti-infective research program to find a drug even in for future, because the existing portfolio of our drug covers more than 90-95% of multi-drug resistant cases in the world. And that is how we would, in a leadership position today, in terms of drug discovery and more successful organization. And that is what we intend to continue strategically.
Okay, so that's on Wockhardt. Thank you so much, Mr. Khorakiwala, for coming in and speaking with us, giving us that perspective.